Welcome everyone to the Color of Jazz. I am your hostess, Donna Whittington, having just a little bit of technical difficulties here, but that's not going to stop us. Stanley is going to be here with us real soon, and before he comes on, I'd like to put some music on, so hopefully you guys are hearing Lady in My Life, because I am not hearing it, so I hope you guys are hearing it. And then Stanley Jordan will be calling in about 5 minutes. So enjoy the music, folks, while I get Stanley in the house. Wow. Woo! Everyone, Stanley Jordan, and Stanley is going to be joining me any minute. He's going to call in. And so we're going to bring Stanley Jordan on the show, on the Color of Jazz show. So everyone, he's in the chat already. So if you haven't gotten in the chat and you're just watching us, then get in the chat so you can chat directly with Stanley. And then, of course, on the second hour, you can chat directly with Eriq. So Stanley, when you're ready, give me a call on the phone. And two things. We're a little challenged tonight, folks. Call me in Skype, and also call me. So we're going to have Stanley joining us here real soon, folks. In the meantime, I believe that's Stanley. Okay. If it was Stanley, I missed you. Give me a call back so I can get you in the chat with us and on camera. There you are. Stanley, can you hear me?
Hello.
Stanley?
You got it, Latar?
Stanley. Okay. You know what? Third time is the charmer. So, gonna put on another Stanley song, another song from Stolen Moments, because we're gonna be talking about his latest CD, Friends. So enjoy this, folks, while I get Stanley Jordan on the phone.
Hello.
Okay. Folks, I guess Stanley in the house. Stanley? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
You know what? I
can hear you.
I hear you fine. I'm not sure that anybody else can hear you.
I can hear you, Donna.
Okay. Westbound or Eriq, somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you're hearing Stanley. Because I hear him in my ear. Thanks, Reggie. Reggie the Jazzman Mitchell has just joined us. Thank you. And had Reggie on the international show this morning. So thanks, Reggie. I appreciate that. Everyone, thank you in the house. He's loud and clear. Perfect. Stanley, let's get started with you because you are an amazing guitarist and you've had an amazing, fabulous, incredible career music-wise. So we, of course, want to hear from you. So Stanley, if you would, first of all, welcome to the show. It was kind of crazy getting you on here tonight.
Thank you. I'm glad to be on. You know, I hear your voice twice. It comes back about 5 seconds later. I don't know if we can fix that or not, but.
Well, we can try to fix that. Everyone is hearing you fine as I look in the chat. But you know that echo will be absolutely crazy in your ears. So let's try this. If it's too crazy, Stanley, we can go plan B, which is the phone. And if that doesn't work, if this doesn't work right here on Skype, then we can go to plan B. What do you think?
Okay, plan B means just audio, no video?
No. Plan B means you call me on the phone and you stay on Skype. So maybe we should do that because there's that 5 seconds.
It's confusing to hear you twice, and then I come back 5 seconds later too. So
okay.
The phone might be easier.
Call me.
Okay, let me call you on the phone right now.
You got it.
Okay.
Everyone else, folks, guess what? Y'all are amazing, hanging out with us.
I'm gonna master this technology. You watch.
Okay. How about now?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I can hear you right now too.
Folks, can you hear Stanley? Westbound, can you hear Stanley? I've got all this guitarist in the house. Somebody give me a quick sound check. If you're hearing Stanley. Stanley, give us a
Yes.
test.
Can everyone hear me right now? Hello. So I guess I'll type in the chat if they can hear me.
Okay. Okay, I think we got it. Chip Cat is saying yes. We hear you. We hear Eriq. We hear Stanley, and they hear me. Okay, perfect. Okay, before anything else breaks down, I don't know if it's a full moon or Mercury's in retrograde or whatever, but we've got Stanley Jordan here, folks, so we're going to move forward. Stanley, give us some background information on you. How did you get started with music?
Wow. Well, let's see. My first instrument was piano, and I actually started playing piano. Well, I started taking lessons when I was 7. I started composing before that at the age of 5. And my sister tells me that I was playing at the age of 3. I don't really remember so much back then, but we did have a piano in the house, and I always loved it. I loved the experimentation and the discovery of finding new sounds and building compositions just like building with blocks, you know. And I took up guitar at the age of 11 because after playing classical piano and composing in a sort of a late romantic style, I started to get interested in playing more contemporary music like R&B and blues and rock and roll, and that's what led me to playing guitar. So after playing guitar for a couple of years, I started getting into jazz. I had already been a jazz fan just as a listener, and I finally found a couple of people who could help me to kind of understand the music and kind of get into it. So starting really like around age 13, 14 is when I really started to get into jazz. And then I went full circle because when I was an undergraduate at Princeton University, I was a music major, and I studied with composers, sort of modern, serious composers, like Milton Babbitt, as an example. And so during that time, I ended up going back full circle to the classical approach, and I also studied some international musics kind of along the way. So, I mean, that's kind of a nutshell. I mean, there's so much. I mean, music is huge, music is infinite, and my approach to music, anything that I've done is just a tiny little piece of what's possible. And I just want to keep exploring and keep learning and growing, you know.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing, Stanley. And I think we're better.
Can you hear me okay?
So folks are saying it's clear now. So.
Okay.
All right, folks. And let's do this. Okay. Stanley?
Yes.
I'm going to put some music on.
Okay.
Because now they're saying they can't hear me, but they hear you, which is fine. So, Bill says great. Okay, folks, I'm a little confused. I don't know if it's sounding okay or if it's not sounding okay, but we're going to put some music on, and I will get in the chat. So, Stanley, my apologies for all the technical difficulties, but I do want to play something from your latest CD, and it's called Friends, folks, and I have that. And so I hope, folks, I hope you guys all have this CD, and if not, we're going to talk to Stanley in a little bit on how to get it and where to get it. But in the meantime, I want to play one of my favorites from his CD. And Okay. Let's try giant steps, folks.
Yes, I hear you. I hear the music repeating twice. Yeah, I hope no one else does. But... Okay. Yeah, I muted my computer, but when I listen on the computer, I hear it twice in the computer. No, it's unmuted. Okay. Okay. I got it. Okay, let me try again. Okay, now it's good. It's not repeating. Yay. We're going to master this technology.
Stanley, that was awesome. And I think, folks, I think Stanley and I, or more so I, got the bugs worked out. And so Stanley shouldn't be hearing any echoes. And I'm
I hear
hoping
no
that
echoes.
you folks aren't hearing echoes as well. So
So that song that you just played, that had Mike Stern on guitar, and so it was Mike Stern and me and Kenwood Denard on drums.
Nice.
And the way that that came about was years ago, Mike and I were somewhere at a jazz festival in Canada, and we were just jamming in a hotel. And we played that song, and he just blew me away. He's so amazing. And Giant Steps is a famous song by John Coltrane, of course, which is not so easy to play because it has a lot of chord changes and it's unusual changes. And so this is one of the songs that Mike had just mastered. I mean, he glides through it with the greatest of ease. And I was so impressed by his playing that I wanted people to hear Mike playing Giant Steps. So I thought, well, now that I'm doing the Friends album, maybe I can, get Mike to play Giant Steps on my album, so people can hear it. So really my main motivation for doing that is because I wanted people to hear Mike Stern. He's just amazing on that.
Nice. And speaking of your CD, Friends, and you've got some amazing friends on that new CD. Tell us about that, Stanley.
Yes, we have a lot of great people. Well, one thing is I have several horn players on the album, which is kind of a different thing for me because, on my works in the past, I haven't really used horns much. And so I'm really pleased that we have Kenny Garrett on sax, and also we have Ronnie Laws, and also we have, on trumpet, there's so many names. I should have the list in front of me because that's the only way I can remember them all. Nicholas Payton on trumpet, and Regina Carter on violin, and two bass players on different songs, Charnette Moffett and Christian McBride, and several great guitarists as well. I mentioned Mike Stern, also Bucky Pizzarelli's on the project, Charlie Hunter's on the project, and Russell Malone is on the project as well. And Kenwood Denard played all of the drum parts. So, I mean, you can see it's just really a lot of great people. And basically what I did was I organized the whole thing, and I was like the axis of the wheel and keeping things, together. And I basically brought these people together, and I tried to feature them in musical settings that were comfortable for them so that they could shine. And a lot of what I did was just kind of step out of the way and let them come through and do what they do.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you've picked some amazing friends for this CD, and so I want to keep the music rolling because, like I said, I'm really digging this Friends CD, and folks definitely need to run out and get it. You need to go and purchase it. Stanley, what's a good place for people to get this new CD from you?
Oh, it's available all over the place. My online store is not up right now, but you can get it on Amazon and on iTunes. You can get it on barnesandnoble.com. All the kind of standard places where you get CDs. And of course, keep in mind that when you buy the legitimate copy, then it helps to support my efforts to continue making music. So,
Yes.
of course, we all know that. But,
Yes.
I mean, one of these days, maybe they'll invent a machine where you could duplicate a car, and then the auto industry will have trouble, and then they'll know what we're going through.
Well,
But,
yes.
the main thing is that the music is my life. This is what I do. This is what I share. And it's a great pleasure to be able to put this out. And this album, this Friends album, is really important for me because of the fact that all these other great musicians were on it. So I want people to hear them.
Absolutely. And like I said, you picked some amazing friends to be on the CD with you in all categories, horn sections, bass, violin, strings. So I want to keep the music flowing, and also, Stanley, I second what you said about the music and the industry and buying the legitimate copies. That's something that I talk about on all of my shows. Is like, I don't care how you get it, as long as you are purchasing it from a legitimate outlet. So again, just to reiterate, you know the deal here on The Color of Jazz. We support the artists by buying their music, and when they come to your town, go and see them. Support them in the concerts as well. So,
Now, we did a big tour in 2011,
ah,
and we went to a lot of the major markets in the United States. We also went to some places in Europe as well. And we're going to be expanding on that this year. Right now, the tour dates are kind of still in the process of being organized. And so my page, my tour dates page at stanleyjordan.com has just a few dates. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be adding a lot more to that. So I hope people can go and check out the tour dates as well.
awesome. Awesome. So everyone, please do that and check out Stanley. And when he comes to a town near you, definitely go check him out. Bring your CD. Bring the Friends CD or some of your other ones, and so he
And
can
bring a
sign
friend.
them. Right? So, okay, Stanley, I
Yeah.
kissed a girl. I love that. I love what you did with that. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, Katy Perry is everywhere these days. She's all over the media, so she's hard to miss. And of course, I saw the video of "I Kissed a Girl," and you know, I enjoyed the video. But I also there's like a whole other level of it because this whole idea of this song that's sort of based on a sort of a bi-curious fantasy becoming the number one song in the world for like a year and a half or something.
Right?
I thought that's kind of an interesting phenomenon, you know, socially. What does this say? I mean, does it maybe mean that we human beings are kind of working out how we can be real and accept the reality of human nature and at the same time understand that we're pure, you know, and so I just kind of filed it away, and I didn't really think about it after that. But I did kind of think it would be kind of interesting to somehow shine the spotlight on that. And then later on, I saw she did this kind of like an MTV Unplugged version where she had jazz musicians playing with her, and she created this atmosphere kind of like a jazz club or something, you know. And it wasn't really like a full jazz version. Like, for example, the musicians didn't take solos. That was a big giveaway right there. But
Right.
you could see that she was sort of creating that atmosphere of, you know, going for like a sort of a jazz-esque version. And I thought that was really interesting. I could see where she's going with that. Now I had a musical reason to want to play this song because I thought, why don't I take that idea and go all the way with that and do a real jazz version of this song, you know?
Awesome.
And, you know, it's got some interesting chord changes and it's fun, you know, and so we tried to sort of keep the happy, fun spirit of the song, but to, you know, take it up a notch as far as the intensity of the instrumental side of the music. So we had a lot of fun doing that. And, you know, I've gone to a lot of radio stations doing interviews with this, and they say, well, what song do you want to play? And typically I'll mention the Katy Perry, or they'll mention it. They'll say, well, we're going to play this song by Katy Perry. So I feel really good that I've been the one that's brought Katy Perry to the jazz radio, you know.
Well, you know what, folks, if you haven't heard this version, I want you to enjoy this. Okay, get back in the chat with Stanley Jordan. I'm going to put the music on, and then I'm going to start tweeting as well. So now that I think we're doing better here, so here we go, folks. Stanley Jordan from the Friends CD, I Kissed a Girl. Here we go, folks. Enjoy.
Rolling down.
Wow. Wow. I'm so digging that.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Well, you know, that song, I think, captures a lot of the spirit of the whole album in general, too, you know, that just the uplifting, joyous feeling, you know, because when we got together in the studio and we all recorded together, that's the feeling that we had.
Nice, nice. So I hope everyone was doing what I was doing, bouncing around, having dancing, just high energy. And I'm trying to dance and tweet and post in Facebook as well. So that's a little bit hard to do, multitasking. But that's I love that. I love the energy in that. You know, I'm sure I don't know if Katie has heard it, but I'm sure she would be digging that. Awesome.
Well, you know, I've done a lot of songs of other people's music, and when I first started out playing jazz, my understanding was that one of the things that jazz players did was take contemporary music of their time and, you know, jazz it up and do a creative, personal version of it. And I found out later that the thing had supposedly changed to where, you know, you weren't allowed to do that with the songs of the time anymore. You're supposed to only play the old songs,
right?
and Tin Pan Alley songs. And sorry, but I never got that memo. So I continued to play songs from my time or songs that were out in the air. I get inspiration from a lot of sources. And people started giving me mess for that. And I was like, well, wait a minute. You know, I thought that's what I'm supposed to do, you know. And I remember early on when I signed with Blue Note Records, and Bruce Lundvall, the president of the label, he said, one of the things that I like about you is you play contemporary songs as standards. And I had never really thought about that because I didn't really realize that that was an unusual thing. And so one of the albums that I did, it's called Standards Volume 1. And one of the purposes with that album was to take more recent songs and play them as, you know, as standards. Because a lot of these songs, you know, some of the sort of more conservative critics were saying, well, these are just pop tunes. But for me, I would say, no, these are standards. These are my generation standards. So I think it's partly a generational thing, too.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you on 100%.
So now we go to the next generation, and we have, you know, other people coming out now and doing different things. And so, you know, Katy Perry or whomever is making music out there right now, it's all fair game as far as creativity. I mean, if I hear a song and I like it, And then beyond that, if I feel that I can bring something to it, then I'm going to want to maybe record that and put out my version.
Awesome. Now, on I Kissed a Girl, I was reading the liner notes, and folks, this is why you gotta get the CD, as opposed to downloading it. I'm old school, so I like when people have the CD in hand so that they can read who Stanley is thanking and who's playing and all that. But on I Kissed a Girl, you're playing both guitar and piano?
Yeah, I was playing both at the same time live in the studio. We didn't overdub that. I had usually most of the time I had my right hand on the piano playing the lead lines and the left hand on the guitar playing chords. I guess there was one part where I switched, and I think I played just the guitar for a little while. I did a little soloette on the guitar, but mostly I use the piano as the lead on that. And when I play the piano and guitar at the same time, the reason that I do it is because to me, the piano and the guitar fuse together into one instrument. I don't think of it like two separate instruments. I think of it as one instrument that has a lot of tonal range and a lot of musical possibilities. One thing I've heard people jokingly say is when I'm up there playing with my drummer and my bass player and I'm doing piano and guitar, what is it? Is it a trio or is it a quartet? And the answer is it's definitely a trio, you see, because the guitar and the piano to me are like one instrument.
Ah, nice. All right. Well, I guess you hooked it up, put your foot in that one, and I like it a lot. So, folks, again, the Friends CD, gotta get it, and it's an amazing CD. So make sure that you get it from the major outlets, as we talked about a little bit earlier. Whew, just get it. And make sure you stay abreast on Stanley's website, stanleyjordan.com, and keep looking back and checking back on that for all of his upcoming gigs that he's got going on. So
The one thing I want to mention too is from stanleyjordan.com, you can also link to my Facebook and to my Twitter as well.
Awesome.
And I'm going to be putting up a YouTube channel within a week or so. That'll be up.
Yay. Great. Because I was on YouTube and I was looking at, some of your music. And so will these be your YouTube videos versus somebody else putting up a YouTube video of you?
Well, I'm going to be putting up some of my own content, but in the beginning, I'm going to probably just have mostly links to other videos that are out there because there are a lot of different videos. I don't really have a lot of control of that thing. Someone sneaks a little camera in. It used to be you could see the red dot, and see who's recording, and now they don't even have the red dot anymore. So people get real sneaky and they put stuff up, and some of it is really horrible. I mean, they'll go to a performance that, to me wasn't even really, like, for example, there's this one song that I played in a bookstore as like a promotional teaser thing. And I wasn't warmed up. It wasn't like a regular gig, but I just did a quick little thing, and the sound quality was horrible. And I have all these people like judging my ultimate ability based on this stupid little YouTube video. So I figure, well, I should really let people know which videos I think, even if somebody else recorded it, if I think that it came out good, then I'll link to that one. And so I think that one is, maybe more kind of representative of what I think the quality would be. And then over time, we're going to have a lot more topics, and I'm going to have a lot more of my original content. I have a lot of stuff in the can, and the process of taking it out and getting it ready for internet is kind of time consuming. So over time, I'll build up that library. But like I say, for now, I'm just going to be doing links. The other thing is that I'm going to be doing a lot more educational content as well. And this is going to be a big push over the next year or so, because teaching is very important to me. I spend a lot of time on this, and like when I'm on the road, I'll do seminars and I'll teach individually when I have time. I mean, technically, I really don't have time because I have so much going on, but I feel that it's really important that we pass on what we know while we can. Nothing
Absolutely.
is guaranteed. Life can be over in the blink of an eye, and we all have something to give. And so I'm trying to give what I can. And I reached a point where I realized that I know way more than I can possibly use in a lifetime. And so if I want to see some of this knowledge get used, one of the things I can do is I can pass it on to other people, and I can see what they do with it. So I'm really excited about being a part of that lineage and a part of that stream where knowledge is passed on from one to the next, and hopefully set an example so that the people who've learned from me will want to take the time to turn around and teach others.
Absolutely. That is awesome, Stanley. Wow. Okay. Um, we've got such little time with you. I'm going to put on another CD, or excuse me, another CD. I'm going to put on another track from Friends, and I am digging Samba Delight. I like that one.
I play in Brazil a lot, and I've had a lot of requests from my folks in Brazil. We want to hear you do more Brazilian music. And so it was a nice thing because a couple of months ago I did tour in Brazil, and this was one of the songs that we played, and people loved the sambas there. And in fact, when I wrote this song, the sax player on the song, Ronnie Laws, I actually had him in mind when I wrote this song. So when he was in the studio and I introduced the song to him, he said he particularly liked it, and I felt good to hear that because I actually had him in mind when I wrote it.
Awesome. Okay, folks, let's do this. Let's do Samba Delight and get a little Latin flavor going. So here we go, folks. Samba Delight. Enjoy this. Get everyone go to your Facebook page and let folks know that you are chatting live. You are in the live chat with Stanley Jordan. I'm in Twitter. So while the song is playing and while you're enjoying it, do a shout out for us. Here we go, folks. Enjoy this. Samba Delight. Wow. Digging that, folks. That's hot, Stanley. That is so hot. Ooh. Stanley, are you still hearing us?
I still hear you.
Okay, cool. All righty. Woo! Love
Thanks.
that. Love the Latin flavor in that. Awesome CD. Okay. So I see there's lots of folks in the chat, and I haven't even been able to keep up with everyone. Sorry, folks. But this is the fun piece of it, is where you get to chat directly with the artist. And
Are we almost out of time?
we are almost out of time. We got about like 5 minutes because Eriq
Got a little bit of a late start with the technicals.
Yes, yes. So, given all that, Stanley, will you come back on the show?
I'd love to come back.
Yay! Now that we know how to
Yes,
work this. I do think it's a Mercury thing. But that's all right.
Well, you know, it's I'm not even going to say what I was thinking. It's never mind.
Or it could be operator error. I'm just saying. However, folks, we do have Stanley hanging out with us, and lots of high energy from him. Lots of amazing music, folks. You know, we'll never, ever be able to cover Stanley in an hour, ever. I don't care where you go. Stanley, I saw you when you came to Denver. I believe it was 2003. I didn't get to see you this time because you were just here in November, the day before my birthday. But I saw you, and when you played at the Soil Dove a few years ago, and you were just absolutely amazing. I had this front row seat. In fact, the CD you had out at that time was, I believe, Noble Ciento. And I don't know if I pronounced that right.
Novecento. That's called Dreams of Peace. And Novecento is this Italian group that was this huge pop group. They were sort of like the ABBA of Italy, kind of. And as they matured, they went into some interesting directions because they started to take on more of a kind of a jazzy flavor. And they got into some groove stuff and to some jazz music. And so they were really great to collaborate with. You know, basically they put the grooves together that we did, and I composed most of the melodies on those songs, but it was definitely very much of a collaboration. But yeah, Dreams of Peace, that's the song that was out, the album that was out when you saw me there.
Yeah. Hey, folks, got to tell you, that's a fabulous CD. You got to get that one as well. And you got to have all of Stanley's CDs. If you are a jazz aficionado, you got to have Stanley in your collection. And I don't even know why I'm telling you that, because you do. He's amazing. Stanley, I am in awe of you. You know, my, of course, favorite is Eleanor Rigby, one of my favorites. You know, you do that one justice, and just amazing. I love that. So we got to get you back on. And thanks for getting in the chat with everyone.
Oh, you're welcome. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, good, folks. And I know you guys were enjoying just, you know, chatting with Stanley as well. You know, as I see him watching the chat move and all that. So thanks everyone, of course, for supporting Stanley on The Color of Jazz, and of course supporting The Color of Jazz. And if you're new to the show, please go to The Color of Jazz in Facebook. like the page, love the page, and share it with everyone because this is how I get to support the artist. And Stanley, one of your friends, is coming on in a couple of weeks, Ronnie Laws.
Oh,
So
great.
I know I'm so excited to have him on the show as well. I'm getting these legends. Oh, you are a legend. And I'm just, again, thank you for coming on The Color of Jazz and hanging out with us. And you know what? When you come back, Stanley, we got to do a 2-hour show. What do you
Yeah,
think?
that'd be good. We could do a 2-hour show, and we'll make sure that we have all the technology
Right?
working, so we'll make full use of the whole 2 hours.
Yes, 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 yes. And folks, Friends was released in September, this past September, just a few months ago. Run out there, grab it, order it through Amazon or wherever you need to order it. I'm going to suggest again that you order the CD. Get the CD. And then when Stanley comes to your town, go and see him and tell him, hey, I was watching you and chatting with you on The Color of Jazz, and that's always cool. Check him out on Facebook, and also be sure to check out his website, stanleyjordan.com, and he's all over the place, folks. So Stanley, as
All
I
right.
play, another song from the Friends CD, I want to play Little Darling,
Mm.
and another favorite. So we're going to start that. And Stanley, if you would, while that's playing, give us some parting words, okay?
Well, this song that you're about to play, Little Darling, this is a song that was composed by Neil Hefti and originally was played in the Count Basie Orchestra, and it was supposed to be more of an up-tempo dance number, and somebody got the idea to slow it way down, and it was like this spark, like this moment, like, wow, that's it, that's the version. And so ever since then, the slow version is really the way that everyone plays the song. And we were so fortunate because we had Bucky Pizzarelli in the studio with us, and he was somebody from that time when that song first came out. And so he was the one who explained the whole story to us, and he was the one who counted off the tempo and kept making sure that we kept that song really slow so that it would have that nice sultry groove to it, because you have to play it with the right feeling. And I think that it's important to understand the history of music too, if you really want to know the music. And also it works the other way. Music can help you understand history. Like if somebody tells me a year, then I'll try to think what music was playing that year. And when I hear the music in my head, then I understand what year that we're talking about. Because I keep time in terms of my life with music, and I understand the different phases of history with music. Music is the thing that I understand best. So it's sort of like my Rosetta Stone for understanding the whole world. If you give me a hard problem, if I can relate it to music, then I can solve that problem. And so music is really my basis for understanding all of life. And at some point, people have asked me if I would publish those ideas. It's kind of a lot, but at some point I would like to do that, because I do feel that if people are thinking in a musical way, then it makes their life more in sync, things flow better, everything seems to be a little bit more graceful, and you sort of have a way of finding that pattern in the middle of all the noise that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Music, I know the old cliche, music makes the world go round, but you know what? Music is a very important piece. So folks, we got to keep the music alive. And by doing that, we support the artists, of course. So please support all the music and support the artist by, of course, paying for it. And letting folks know that when you have a great CD that you love, or a special artist or whatever, let folks know about them, and so we can keep the music alive, because it is phenomenal when we have these amazing artists that give up their love and their passion, and they give that to us, and we get to enjoy all of that from them. And That's what I love about music. And I love that especially from jazz music because, some of it that, when it doesn't have the words, I get to hear and feel Stanley Jordan, And I don't have to personally know you, but man, I get to feel you through you.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That.
And somebody on the chat, they just said music got me through algebra in school. And it's funny because I had that same experience because I had to spend a lot of my spring break catching up in math class when I was 15. And I thought, oh man, this is really going to be horrible. And I thought, well, maybe if I can relate it to music, then maybe I can get more interested in the course. So, how does math relate to music? And I started getting one idea after another, and everything just sort of clicked, and I realized all of these ways that math relates to music, and I've been having more realizations about that ever since that moment. And I did pass the class, by the way, so it helped me then too. So I mean, that's just one thing. That's just math. I mean, we could talk about any subject you want, and I guarantee it totally relates to music.
Absolutely. And of course, not just music, it's our story life. It's our storyline in our lives because, I can throw out one of your songs and people they'll remember, oh my God, I remember when I first heard that or what that means to me. So yes, music is very, very important. So, wow, Stanley, okay, I can't wait to get you back on the show, or let me rephrase that.
So we'll keep in touch and we'll do this again.
Yes, I look forward to getting you back on the show. So I'm going to ask you if you would just hang up with me so Eriq Troi, another guitarist, could come and hang out with folks on The Color of Jazz. And again, thank you, Stanley, so much. And big shout out to Vernon, your manager, for getting you the information and getting on the show. So thanks again, Stanley. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Donna. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks. So as I wait for Eriq Troi to call me in Skype, then we'll start playing his music. But in the meantime, while I wait for him, we're just hanging out with Stanley, listening to his music while Eriq Troi calls me. And Eriq, if you're watching the show, I'm giving you the phone sign. There you go. Awesome. So go ahead and call me, and I'll get you on the show as well, Eriq. And I might miss you, just in case. I missed you there. All right, Eriq, give me one moment. Enjoy listening to Stanley, folks. I'm going to bring Eriq up. Eriq, you're free to call now.
You hear me? See me? There? Oh, okay.
Okay, you ready to go live? You ready to go live?
Yep. How do I sound? Everything
Okay,
good?
I got an echo.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Bringing down the music and bringing up Eriq Troi. Eriq, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Woo!
Can anybody
All right,
hear me?
folks. Since we are just switching, let me know if you can hear Eriq in the chat. Are you guys hearing him? Not in the chat. Hello. Are you hearing him on the show? Loud and clear. Awesome. Everyone, say hello
Hello,
to Eriq.
Cindy.
Eriq
Hey,
in the
Chip
house.
Cat.
Yes, Eriq. Are you
Yes,
hearing me okay?
I hear you fine.
Perfect. Let's get started. Because, an hour and goes really fast. And
Yeah.
we started a little bit late with you. So tell us about Eriq Troi.
I'm just a regular guy. Just trying to earn kind ears, and hopefully I'm standing on the shoulders of the guy that just went on, Stanley Jordan. I'm standing on his shoulders, so it's that kind of excellence I'm just trying to live up to.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, tell you what, all this regular guy stuff, not even. You're awesome. You're amazing. And I am so excited to have you on the show. Now I'm seeing Sure Will in the house. Hey, Sure Will. And is the echo when you are hearing me or when you're hearing Eriq or both of us? Give me a quick sound check. So.
Check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear?
I know, right?
Am I echoing?
Folks, let me know what you hear. You can't tell me.
I got everything turned down.
All right, cool.
It says, Chip Cat says Eriq only.
Eriq, tell you what,
Echo on
Eriq,
Eriq.
let's you and I figure it out, but let's put some music on because like I said, an hour goes fast. We saw that with Stanley. And so I want to put some of your music on now. I've, got the pleasure to hear you and to meet you. And let me tell you how I met you, how you came to be to me, and you were recommended. I don't know if you know this or not, but you was recommended to me by Brian O'Neill.
Yeah, Bean.
Right?
Bean. Right.
So Worker Bee, as folks might know him in Facebook, but he is Brian O'Neill on the keys, and Brian gave this glowing review of Eriq and the story and talks about how you can't be behind the scenes. You need to get out there and do your thing. So, and that's how you and I kind of came to be. But then you were on one of the shows and we started chatting back and forth about the music, and you sent the music to me, and here we are. So I absolutely love that. And so I want to get the music playing. And got to tell you, folks, technology has not been my friend today. I'm just saying. Woo, gotta love live TV. And so yeah, this is how we roll on The Color of Jazz. It's all the way live. Earlier today, I had Reggie the Jazz Man Mitchell. I don't know if Reggie is still in the house because it's his birthday. And
Happy birthday, Reg.
I know, right? Uh-oh, we're both echoing now.
Uh-oh.
I know. You know what? I'm going to put some music on. But long story short, it was working earlier today. So I guess the full moon is rising. I don't know. Anyhow, let's start off with something funky, and then Eriq will come back and talk about it. And I'm going to start off with They Don't Make... What is this? They don't
make no funk like this no more.
Okay.
One word.
It's one word, folks. So I had to figure it out. Put that in the chat for me, Eriq, okay? Here we go, folks. They don't make no funk like that no mo. Enjoy.
Yo, can you hear me? I had to turn the phone on my phone down.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Very, very nice. Eriq.
Yo,
I hear you fine. Eriq is the truth, Buddha says. And I'm reading the chat, and Tells Grammar says, best guitar player ever. Sure will. Wow. Bill. Doing the bump right now with Erica. Ready to jazz and Mitchell. Ah, the tapper. Hey folks, I didn't get to say hello to you earlier, but I'm glad that everyone is hanging out with us. And Stacy is saying, Eriq, let me know if I'm pronouncing this right. Tangaba?
Tangaba. It's called the Dance of Creation or Dance of Shiva. This is the one that your boy Brian O'Neill, he heard this and he really liked this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with Stacy's suggestion, and let's do this. So you get back in the chat, and we're gonna flow with some straight up music from Eriq Troi, folks, and it might already be playing. Do you hear the music already in the background? $10.
Yeah.
Stacey, is that why?
Yeah, I hear it playing.
I think that's why she said that, because it's playing. So, and of course, I'm not hearing it.
I hear it fine on my end.
Okay, that's all right. I'm gonna turn it up on my end, folks. Keep digging on Eriq Troi, and I'm gonna hear it. Get in the chat with Eriq, folks. If you're not in there, get in there. Chat with them. This is how we roll. Come on.
Stacy's my wife.
Wow. Digging that. Woo. Very nice. Eriq.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Very awesome. I'm looking at the chat. I'm dancing. I'm trying to multitask, chat, dance, type. It's just crazy over here. So we've got folks, just chatting with you. And yes, Stacy, I'm getting my groove on. Okay, hold up. Everyone, if you are not grooving to Eriq Troi, then I want you to check your pulse. I'm just saying. Check your pulse if you're not grooving. because this is hot, 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 hot. Okay, I'm sorry if I offended you. I'm sorry, folks. But you know what? It's the color of jazz. It's Sunday night. I think the Broncos
Party
might have
time.
won. I don't know. And really, I'm just saying that. I don't know. I'm not a Bronco fan. I'm not a football fan. Put it that way. But I am a jazz fan, and I love jazz, and I know when I hear good jazz. So, Eriq, tell us
Yes.
about hugs and kisses.
Say that again.
Tell us about hugs and kisses.
Hugs and Kisses. Hugs and Kisses is a project. It was actually inspired by my wife Stacy, and she wanted. Well, it's not she wanted, but we were talking about an idea of making an instrumental music for um, grown people for the most part,
Right?
and I wanted it to be a very sexy, very sensual music where, I wanted to bring back the slow dance, the idea of slow dancing, and which no one does anymore except people over 39, I guess. We can remember Moments in Love and those type of grooves. And so, it was just one of them things that I wanted to make a whole CD of nice, sensual, mature music without it getting all, raunchy or whatever. And I don't know, just something that was just, and yet it had the whole thing of groove. Kind of like that Moments in Love, where it went on for like 15 minutes for one track, that kind of thing. But
Right?
I just wanted to kind of bring that back because no one was doing it anymore. And then I got a Bill. He's in the chat room. He's one of my homeboys, and
Hey,
he's like,
Bill.
man, we don't have any music for our generation where we can just jam to, put it in the car and ride to,
Right?
that's not so much as jazz, but not R&B per se, but that thing that was kind of in the middle. So I was like, ha, yeah. And that Moments in Love was the basis, that and Sade's band Sweetback, kind of like the basis of that particular project. So it's all instrumental, and of course it has some jazz elements in it, and it's just one of those things, all instrumental. Let the instruments talk.
Right, right. Well, let's do this. And Buddha is saying blue lights in the basement. And
Blue lights.
oh yeah, yes, Stacy, we're gonna hook up phone sex. And that's the song, folks. We're gonna do the song. So we're going to get back to sensuality, which I absolutely love, and love it when folks can bring the sensuality in music. Okay, so yes, yes, slice, yes, yes. Okay, I want to start out with wooing, and because I really like wooing,
Okay.
and we're gonna move on. But tell me about wooing real quick.
Wooing is something, again, this whole project was really inspired by my wife. And while I was dating her, I wanted to, the whole thing of, when you're out dating and talking, it's a lot of stuff, you move kind of fast sometimes, but then I always wanted to woo my wife,
Uh,
and I wanted that whole thing of just, as my grandmother and them would say, the courting thing,
yes.
that kind of thing is gone, or, it's let's just hook up and we do our thing, and next thing you know, we're married for 72 days and then you're divorced. So
Hey, you know what?
there's no
Wasn't enough
time
wooing, I think.
there's no wooing involved. That's why.
Right.
But I wanted to woo my wife, and
Awesome.
so I wanted to make a song that's kind of a groove, but kind of musically express the courtship kind of
Yes.
thing. So that's what I came up with.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're going to hear that. And can I just say that I have to say to Stacy, Eriq is he's racking up the wooing points right now, right? I'm just saying. So folks,
That's my doghouse credit card.
right? When you play the wooing song. So folks,
Well,
let me,
sometimes, with all relationships, healthy relationships
yeah.
go ups and downs and ups and downs. I'm just trying to store up my points, so I can get out of the doghouse.
You know what? Let me say this. If you can play the music that's wooing, and folks, for those of us who aren't musically inclined like me, and if you can recognize the wooing music, that's what's up, folks. And then you take that into your relationship, because I think you're right. There isn't enough wooing going on. And understand the difference between wooing and other things. Okay? So let's take note of wooing. And Eriq, real quick, how do we get wooing? Because folks might need a refresher course. Just saying.
Well, I just now figured it out. No, it's a time thing. You just take your time knowing your mate. Just know them. And even after, I'm still learning all the beautiful, wonderful things about my wife, even still, you don't stop wooing.
Right.
We just went out last night and, started dancing, that kind of thing. And I had so much fun with my wife. We went on a date, and you don't stop that stuff when you're married. I don't think you do. I mean, I've never been, this is my, I don't think you should, but, she is definitely the foundation of this project. Only that, she puts up with my noise making and experimenting and guitar feedback and all of that stuff. So she puts up with that. She put up, her and my daughters, they put up with the noise. And so this is kind of a dedication to her and my daughters. So this very first one coming off the block, this is really for them.
Awesome. All right, folks, let's get the wooing going, and then we'll come back, and Eriq will tell us. And while the wooing is going on, get in the chat, Eriq, and folks, get in the chat with Eriq.
I gotta put my spectacles on.
Yes, put your spectacles on. Get in the chat and tell us where to go to get wooing. And before you go, you know how I say on The Color of Jazz, don't be leaving the show just yet, unless you're going to Facebook or Twitter and letting folks know that you are chatting directly with Eriq Troi. Okay? So here we go. Wooing, the wooing. Enjoy this. And also in the chat, Eriq, put where we can get your music, what outlet, okay? Here we go, folks. Wooing.
Okay.
Woo! Hee hee. Wooing. Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed wooing. And as you can see, I got some pictures up of Eriq. So enjoy those as well. Let's bring him back on screen. There we go. Hey, Eriq, that was awesome.
Thank you.
That was awesome. And as you, I don't know if you are reading the chat, and a big shout out to Mariel's husband. And he's like me, can't play a lick, can't sing a tune. And you know what? But he knows how to woo. And you know what? That's what's up. That's what's up, folks. You ain't gotta learn how to sing and play instrument. That's what the professionals are for, right? Just know how to woo.
Just take that record and play it, you know.
There you go. There you go. So, yes, this is awesome. And, of course, for the inspiration, I believe Stacy and probably your girls are the inspiration for your music. Yes?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Who else? Who else inspires you?
Just everyday life, you know. You hear music every day.
Yes.
You know, you hear a song within a situation. You know what I'm saying? You hear every day paying bills is a song.
I need you to sing that one
Snow.
for me.
You being in Colorado, you know, you guys get like some crazy snow. Just snow. At first it's pretty, but after a while it just gets annoying. So, like in Ohio, it just gets annoying. But that's a song, you know. Coming home and just sitting down watching TV, having dinner is a song. Just everyday life. And you know, the more you live, the more songs you have to write about. So
Ooh. Eriq, I love that. I absolutely love what you just said. I've never heard anyone put that together, you know. Wow, I've got this chills just going through me because, you know, it's so true. And of course, you know, it could be a happy song. It can be, I don't know, it could be a sad song, I guess. But you're right.
yeah, it can
Music is
be
life.
anything.
And it's all in
Yeah,
how you
music.
play it, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, it goes within your interpretation of your life. You know,
Yes.
if you have, you know, whatever's going on in your life, that's how the music is going to turn out. You know, I try and you know, live right. You know, I try. You know, I don't always get it every day, but even that is a song. You know, not getting it right every day is a song. You know, and it's, you know, music is based upon the human experience. So, which life music in life means. That's what it really means. So you have to live life, you know, and for me, you know, we translate that into those experiences and those feelings into music. So
Yes. Yes. Okay. You know what? I want to play, folks, we're going to go there. Yes, we are. We're going to play phone sex.
ha, the new single off of
I like, okay, and I don't want y'all
XOXO.
taking this the wrong way.
Nah, you just gotta listen to the music, man.
Can I say I like phone sex on the air? Can I say that? Or wait, let me rephrase that. I like the song phone sex. How's that? We'll keep it clean.
Okay.
It's a G-rated show. It's all about the music. But here we go, folks. Phone sex. And yes, we are going to play What About the Nastiest? Yes, we are going to play Nastiest because I love that as well. But I got to play phone sex first because I want to turn y'all on to that as well. And folks, get in the chat with Eriq. But before you do that, give a quick shout out in Facebook and Twitter. Let folks know we're listening to phone sex. Let folks know that on Facebook right now. And let's get it kicking. So I love this.
My wife actually picked that song to be the single to lead the project with.
Awesome. All right, folks, let's do this. Phone sex. Here we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Phone sex, folks. And okay, who did what I asked and went to Facebook or Twitter and told everybody we were listening to Eriq Troi and that you're chatting with him and that we are listening to his music and off the Hugs and Kisses CD, Phone Sex. And Eriq, hey, is there another version of this?
What, phone sex?
Yes.
No, that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's the only version of that song
Okay.
as of right now. So I wanted to shout out my man Westbound. Meine Rolle alles klar, das ist gut, ja? So yeah, I just spoke German to him. I used to live in Mannheim and Heidelberg, so just wanted to say what's up to Westbound.
Westbound. Nice. And of course, big shout out to Westbound. He was on the show last year. And
Extraordinary guitar player.
yes.
My goodness.
And he's coming back on the show. So
wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And for those of you who do not know, I started a earlier show for folks like Westbound so that they can come on the show. And it is called The Color of Jazz International TV show. And so folks are musicians like Westbound, Soren Reef, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Soren, Daniel Demarge, Ronaldo, just folks from all over the world can come on and hang out on The Color of Jazz. And so it doesn't have to be like 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock there. Westbound, I know it's early in the morning for you, but I'm always just, thankful that you hang out with us. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're here. So love that about you. And of course, we are going to do that at a time-friendly slot for you and your friends. And so we'll be, jamming to Westbound. Westbound, let me know when you're ready. Looking forward to it. So big shout out to Westbound and of course The Color of Jazz International TV show. Folks, don't stop tweeting and Facebooking about Eriq. And I'm seeing lots of folks in the chat and new folks getting in there. Adrian 1026. Adrian 1026, how are you? And lots of folks. I don't think I
Hi, Adrian.
My good buddy L. And of course Westbound. So this is how we do this, folks. Yes, this is how we grow on The Color of Jazz. So invite your friends, family, invite everybody to check this out and check out The Color of Jazz Facebook page. All right.
Yeah, like the page. Like it.
Right on. That's right. Like it. In fact, love it. You got okay. Now, back to Eriq and the reason why we're here and having so much fun. Eriq, we're having so much fun with you. Let me find what is the name of the song? Nastiness, is that it?
Was that?
Is it Nastiness? Is that the song?
Nastiness, just nastiness.
Just nasty? Just nastiness?
Nastiness, just nastiness. That's the name.
Just y'all, this is just nasty, and which means it's funky. Okay, so
Inspired by Marcus Miller.
okay. Oh, you guys know
Yeah,
I'm in love with Marcus, right? Don't tell his wife, but I am in love with Marcus. It's all good. It's all good.
that's my cat right
So
there.
let's play nastiness, just nastiness, and let me know how y'all feel about this. Enjoy. Go to Facebook.
There was a
Chat
bit
it
of a
up.
nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Your name was mentioned. The words got through to me by the usual channels. Certain friends of yours were named also. Being a good friend to you is always the one man in this sore and sick community who wants to save you from yourself.
Okay, folks, that was hot. Nastiness, just nastiness. And I'm sure hoping y'all was digging on that. Nastiness, just nastiness. Just nasty. Right? I think that's how you have to say that, isn't it?
Say that again.
I said, I think that's how you have to say that song. Nastiness, just nastiness.
That the title was actually inspired by Purple Rain, and there's a part in the movie where my wife hates this scene, but it's when the young lady comes out and she goes, Morris, where have you been? I've been waiting for you all night. And then he looks and says, Jerome, and he picks her up and dumps her in the garbage can. And he was like, Lord, such nastiness. So that's where I got the title from. I was like, hey, that's a good title for that song. So
oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Folks, this is the beauty of the Color of Jazz. We get to hang out with the artists and we get to hear their stories and how it came to be for them, their music, It's a beautiful thing, folks. So I really hope that you will support Eriq Troi, and I hope you're supporting him now in Facebook and in Twitter. You should be doing that if you're not. And about the Color of Jazz too. Make sure you give a shout out to the Color of Jazz so we can grow.
I also wanted to make mention that that particular track is one of the songs on the part 2 of the XOXO. There's the XOXO is nice and sensual, However, I'm coming with the hard stuff too. So the more funkier dance type stuff, and that project is called the Electric Juk House.
Oh.
So yeah, Electric Juk House. So people in their late 30s, 40s, and early 50s, we look kind of strange going to these nightclubs now that's made for college kids. And it's just one of them things like, what do we have? That's ours. I remember listening to Roy Ayers and grooving to some of that stuff. I remember, being up in the room and my mom and her friends hanging out, in the apartment, and they listening to oh man, they play some nice stuff. Roy Ayers, they would play Jamaica Funk.
Right.
They played a 15-minute version to Not Just Knee Deep. Songs like that. So, that stuff just stuck in me. So listening to Ohio Players' Sweet Sticky Thing, those grooves like that. So, it's just one of them things is, I grew up listening to that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so it's like, I know, and got people in my age group in the 40s, in the late 30s, 40s, 50s, we, they need something to bump to. So, and literally do the bump too, bring back the old Soul Train lines, and I just want to make that music. You can't just turn on the radio and there's some new old school music. It's either that one way or the other, So I just wanted to make something that kind of make the head bop and, but also give, some musicianship to it,
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So folks, we're going to go over just a little bit. Eriq, I don't think you mind, do you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Right
cool.
on.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you, Stacy, for allowing him to go over a little bit as well. And but I gotta play, I gotta play some more music. Eriq, did you put in the chat where people can get your music? Have you done that?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there again. You can go to vibedeck.com/Eriq Troi, ERIQ or they go to SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Eriq-Troi. I'll put it in the chat in a minute.
Please do that. Put that in the chat for us, and then that way I can read it off as well. And I would be remiss if I didn't play something for Stacy.
I'm
just saying. And what do you think? I can do Missing You, or I can do For Stacy Again.
I don't know. I will flip a coin if I were you. I do Missing You.
All right, folks. This is For Stacy, Missing You, and Eriq Troi, of course. Get in the chat. Still got time to Facebook and tweet. Do that for me. And like the Color of Jazz page. Y'all can do that. This is how we multitask on the Color of Jazz. Hook it up, folks. Here we go. Missing You.
There we are.
Oh, that was awesome. Missing You, and of course, for Stacy. And folks, we just cut out there for just a second or two, but we're back. We haven't left you yet. And that, of course, was for Stacy. And Stacy, I hope you like, I'm sure you love that. And yes. So Eriq. Want to hear Missing You. Slice, did you miss that? Missing You? I heard it too. We'll put on for Stacy. Okay, cool. I'm just reading the chat. I might be a little bit late. I'm just saying, folks. Eriq? Wow, folks are just saying that's beautiful, and I'm losing my train of thought as I'm trying to talk to you and read the chat. And but yes, that was awesome. And what I started to say was, I love it when folks can make the guitar whine like that. I mean, it's so energetic and powerful.
That was my bass, actually.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
It was the bass, folks. My bad. Okay, let me start over. I love it when folks make the bass whine.
Oh, me.
Yes, cool. Very cool. Awesome. Okay. It's past 8 o'clock, or at least in Colorado. So 10 o'clock your time there, Eriq. You. I gotta play You.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Brian, well, another one of his joints he likes.
Yeah, You is hot, folks. Oh my God, You is so hot. I gotta play that, and while I get that ready, I want to see. Here we go. I want to say this so that everyone can connect with Eriq, but more importantly, so you can go and purchase the music. SoundCloud, www.soundcloud.com/Eriq Troi. ERIQ-TROI. You like that hyphen? Okay. Eriq, make sure you guys go and check out Eriq Troi. Also, www.vibedeck.com/Eriq Troi. Okay? So, y'all get out there and get the music. Eriq, I lost you. Eriq, I lost you. I lost you. What happened? Say it again.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Say that again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
What were you saying? I think he hung up on me. Did you hang up on me?
Okay. Say that again.
I think I hung up on you or you hung up on me. Nonetheless, Stacy, if you're still hearing me in the chat or on the show, I'm going to play you. Eriq, call me back.
Okay, I got you.
Oh.
I got you. Here we go. No problem.
Yeah, call me back on the phone. Here we go, folks. I'm going to play you while we get Eriq back. Wow. Oh. Right? Folks. God, that was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And is mom in the house?
Yeah, mom. I think my mom is Sandshell or something like that. I think that's my mother.
Okay.
She's in the chat. So
hi, Mom. And of
yeah,
course,
she in there somewhere.
Of course, Mom would be in the house. And I was out tweeting and Facebooking and doing all that wonderful stuff. And the chat is just off the hook. I think it was Bill who said he wants to smoke and he doesn't smoke. You're right, Bill. That's one of those songs you just need to light up a cigarette, just because.
Well, I come from that generation where, they wasn't smoking just cigarettes. So I'm like, oh, Lord, we ain't gonna go there. That's okay. We good. So, but yeah. Just listen. Them the grown folks, not the kids. They were doing that. We weren't. We were up in the bedrooms and stuff. Just y'all be quiet, making all that noise. Yeah, Mom, I'm putting you on blast. So
that's what's up. Old school, no doubt.
Yeah, that's old school. Yeah, that is old school for real. Yeah, the solo at the end was inspired by Bootsy Collins. He's one of my trinity of bass. So Bootsy Collins, Stanley Clarke, and Larry Graham. That all the bass players that we know come from them. So they're like the holy trinity. So.
Right.
But yeah, that solo at the end is my ode to Bootsy. So
right on. And folks, oh my gosh. You know what? If you guys just watch the show and do not get in the chat, you miss out on the experience because, oh my God, we are just pooping it up in the chat. And is it Nani? Nani Sandshell?
Nani Sandshell, that's my mother.
Hi, Mom. Okay. So Nani, I'm just going to call you Nani, all right? And,
yeah.
Nani is in the house and, yes, putting the older generation, I'm about to put my foot in my mouth, sorry, Nani, but putting them on blast because I remember my parents having the parties in the basement, right? Blue lights in the basement, the parties, and the house parties. That's what's up.
Because they didn't go to the club. That club scene, go to the clubs back. At least I don't remember them going to clubs. Like the like our generation knows the clubs. They didn't do that. They, had rent parties and stuff like that. I remember that. But it was always the music, and then there was always somebody who's stood too close to the record player, dancing too hard, and it skipped the record.
Right, bumping it. You'd be like,
and they get mad.
Yes. And I'm just looking at the chat, and Stacy is saying, Eriq, did you send her what cut was that, Stacy? The newest cut? Did you send that to Donna? I'm gonna do that in my best Stacy voice.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right. Okay. I don't think I have that one. There was a couple. Jazz my ass.
Oh.
I couldn't download it. I could not download it for some reason. Me and iTunes were having a moment, and
okay.
You know what that is, though,
sometimes
right?
You can get that on SoundCloud. That's on SoundCloud as well. Everybody can go to SoundCloud. That was I get into these creative modes where what if Miles Davis played guitar? You
Ooh.
know, so
Ooh. Right?
because he's one of them cats. I mean, he would hit these weird riffs, and it sounded like it didn't go, but it went anyway. And that was that Bitches Bruce stage. When he was doing that, the whole fusion thing. And that music is just utterly amazing. And then he hooked up with Marcus Miller and the Tutu and Almandala and that stuff, and Hiram Bullock playing on some of that stuff, and who's a guitar player. And that stuff was just, I was a teenager listening to that stuff and like, wow, my Uncle Robert actually hit me to that stuff. So my mom's brother. So, and that's really actually, it was, my uncles are really responsible for a lot of my musical upbringing, and particularly my Uncle Edwin, who was the youngest out of my mom's brothers. And he was basically Prince. He was Prince. He was that dude. He actually kind of looked like Jimi Hendrix and can play all the instruments and just highly creative. And my Uncle Terry, he was the funkadelic. He was the one, with the wild outfits, and he was a pop locker back in the day. And then my Uncle Robert, he listened to a lot of the Grover Washington Jr. stuff, and a lot of that smooth, mellow stuff from back in the day. My mom, she had the Curtis Mayfield and the Frankie Beverly and Mays, and so it was just a big mix, especially my Uncle Edwin with the rock experience. He's the one that hit me to Def Leppard and Metallica and Hendrix. But it wasn't until I got to Grambling State University, believe it or not, is where I got exposed to classical music. That and Bugs Bunny.
Right.
So, and Tom and Jerry. So.
Right on. That is so cool. Just awesome. And of course, you coming or living in Ohio,
Yes.
I know y'all were just the funk was just deep there, wasn't it?
Oh, you couldn't go nowhere without hearing Roger Troutman or Lakeside, Ohio Players, Howard Hewitt, James Ingram. You couldn't go nowhere in Ohio without hearing OJ's, Levert. And I'm just going to straight out say this. Gerald Levert ain't dead. He's still around here somewhere. Y'all could, he had such an impact on Ohio, on Ohio soul, and particularly he was the sound that our generation knew about Ohio soul. And that's, Gerald Levert, and now there's the Levert 2 project. So you got so much funk, so much phaso. A lot of people don't know that Riding High, the Weed Anthem, they from Ohio. You couldn't ride nowhere without, or you couldn't go anywhere without hearing that funk. So it's just one of them things, and then later on you got the Daz Band that came out, and Scott and Raven, the Monkey Paw, and wow, a lot of that stuff. And then even on the rock tip, you had Devo, you had Chrissy Hines and the Pretenders. So it was all around us, And then this band they're from Canada, I think. They're out of Canada, but Ohio adopted them as one of their own, and that's Rush. And they wasn't nobody playing a Rush record until they got to Cleveland and WMMS start playing it. So that rock and funk was just real deep here. You couldn't go nowhere without hearing no funk. So it's just
Part of my DNA.
Right?
my DNA. So.
Right. And oh my God, the chat is just off the hook with what you're talking about. People are on fire.
Fire!
Okay,
Boom, boom. Okay, sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay, Eriq, I do this on my show, and I hope you get it. But give me the fist bump thing.
The
Eriq,
what?
look at the screen. Look. Give me
Okay.
a fist pound. Show me some love,
Oh,
Eriq.
how?
Okay, y'all, we're having so much fun. Thank you. Thanks, Stacy.
Yes, sir.
And so gotta tell you, and Adrian, thank you. Adrian says she loves the color of jazz. Hey, Adrian, was this your first time? Is this your first time on the show? And folks, if it's your first time in the show, let me know in the chat. And hey, Bernard. And so yes, I'm having a lot of fun with Eriq. And Eriq, as I was saying, since I didn't have jazz my ass, and you
It's so sound
a haberdash. What is that?
a haberdashing.
A haberdashing.
Yeah, that's something my a drummer I used to play with a while back. Big shout out to Chachi Jeff Law, Mr. Heavyfoots. So yeah, Mr. Heavyfoots Jeff Law, aka Chachi Lothario, a drummer. That would be, we just go in and do jam sessions, and he just, let's just go do a haberdashing, and that title went appropriately to that song. So it was just a jam, just one of those jam session kind of a thing. So
awesome. Well, that's why I'm saying, you know what that means, right? Since I didn't have
what does
it on
that
the
mean?
show, what does that mean?
What, a haberdashing?
No, since I didn't play all the music that I could, what does that mean? Sounds like, feels like.
I'm sorry, I get. Oh, I will be back. I will be back.
Thanks, Slice. Yes, you got to come back on the show, of course.
Definitely,
And
definitely.
I just want to say thank you to the folks who are in the chat, because you guys are what's bringing the energy tonight. And every night, every Sunday when I get to do this is my high. And
hey, Donna,
excited.
You got cupcakes and collard greens?
I got some cupcakes and collard greens. Let me make sure. I know. Yes, I have it. You want me to play that as we go out?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You got it.
At the Juke House.
Collard greens, folks. Okay, how did that come about? Because I'm thinking of some collard greens and some cornbread. But tell me about collard greens and cupcakes.
Cupcakes and collard greens. One of the singers that I sing with, her name is Elena. Her boyfriend, I asked him, what you have? What was that? Thanksgiving, I think. And I asked him what you got left. He was like, "What you guys eat?" I was like, "Ain't nothing left except collard greens and cupcakes." And I just started singing the hook in my head, and it never left until I actually recorded it. So.
Oh, that's funny. I love it.
And it's just one of them. Yes, ma'am.
It just proves what you said. Everything's a song, folks. Get that. Oh my God.
Everything in life is a song. Everything. Good, bad, and otherwise.
Right down to the cupcakes and collard greens, folks. It's a sound. I mean, it's a song. It's music. And if you missed the words of wisdom from Eriq talking about everything's a song, all my shows are archived. So the color of jazz / or let me go back, live stream / the color of jazz. All the shows are archived, so you can watch the show at any time. And so if folks missed it, or if you want to paste a link on your page, it will be up in Facebook here real soon. I'm going to post on your page, so make sure you go to Eriq's page sometime tonight and post that, the link to the show. And
Facebook.com / Eriq Troi.
And Twitter and everything. So let's do this, folks. Chat just a little bit longer with Eriq. Cupcakes and collard greens. Folks, I know you're getting hungry. Check this out.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Love that, folks. Cupcakes and collard greens. That's what's up. And Eric, are you still with me? Because I'm showing your pictures. There you are. Wow. Wow. I'm so digging all of this. Digging it, digging it, digging it. And Eric,
Yes, ma'am.
that was absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
I'm playing EHG in the background.
Yes.
EHG Night Groove in the back as we close out.
Okay.
And folks, you know what? The show is usually 2 hours, but time flies when you're having fun. And when you're having fun, you kind of lose track of time. So I just want to thank everyone for hanging out, and I think everyone was having a good time. I know I was having a good time, and I know Mom was having a good time, Stacy and Cindy and Elle and Adrian and Buddha of Bass and Ruby D. So everyone, yes, next Sunday, folks, we do it all over again, and do hang out on the Color of Jazz International show. That is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. GMT time. Okay, so that is the time-friendly zone for folks across the pond. such as Westbound, and definitely going to encourage you to get in the house with Westbound as well. And then, of course, at night is the Color of Jazz, and this coming up Sunday, I've got Nai Moses from LA coming on.
Yes.
The show. Okay.
Yes.
Right?
You guys want to see her.
Yes.
You guys want to check her out. Very smooth. Yes.
Very smooth. Beautiful
Yes.
young lady. I'm so looking forward to having her on the show. And then gonna come back close to home in Denver and bring on Joel Rodney Simeon. And we're gonna hear from Joel as well, another guitarist. So stick with me, folks, on the Color of Jazz. And go ahead, Eriq. What you want to say?
Wanted to shout out from your neck of the woods, Donna. There's a guitar player. We did a online collab. Her name is Nicole Renee. She's out of Denver.
Oh.
This young lady is incredible. If I ever got on stage with her, I'm not playing guitar with her. No, I'm playing a cowbell or something because she is that bad. Wow. West Montgomery in the woman's body.
Stop.
Yes.
Turn her on. Hey, turn her on the Color of Jazz, okay?
Yeah. If you go to my my SoundCloud page, or even if you go to the Vibe Deck, the Wooing song I did, the Wooing Again, featuring her on guitar. So
wow.
Check her out.
Okay. Folks, this is how we do it. This is how we pay it forward, right? So Eriq is going to connect with her, and I'm going to look for her. And Stacy put in the chat, Nicole Renee. Definitely going to look for her, especially if she's here in Denver. Hello. Pay it forward, folks. If you know of an artist who you think would be fabulous on the Color of Jazz, they got to have energy. I'm just saying. Have them contact me on Facebook. Tell them just to Donna Whittington, shoot me an email on Facebook so that we can connect. I look at Facebook all the time, my emails and things. So make sure if you know some artists who could benefit from coming out or coming on the Color of Jazz, and who we could benefit from hearing their music, please have them get in touch with me. This is how we roll. This is how we pay it forward, and this is how we grow. So folks, please do that. And of course, later on in the month, I got Ronnie Laws coming on, okay? And a young fellow who I believe is 18, Sheldon Ferguson, is going to be coming on as well with Ronnie Laws. And then on the 29th, I've got Paul Brown. And Paul Brown is going to be, he's going to take up the whole 2 hours, okay? And we're going to talk
Brown,
about,
yes.
Exactly. So, and then for the international show on the 29th, James Cola is also going to be on the show. So, folks, send the people. Please go to the Color of Jazz page. I need the numbers to increase. I want to see some increase by tonight, folks. Tell your friends to go to the Color of Jazz. This is how I get to bring on folks like Eriq, okay? Nobody's coming on the Color of Jazz if there's 10 people.
Adrian said, buy the music.
Right.
Yes, please buy the music.
That's right. Don't steal it. Buy it. If you're downloading it from Amazon or whoever, make sure it's a reputable site, as we talked about with Stanley. Buy the music, folks. Seriously?
Yeah.
Buy the music. And as I'm going to say, when you are downloading the music from iTunes or CD Baby or Amazon or whoever, get the CD. All this one and twosies of songs, you missed out on the entire experience of the CD. Buy the CD, folks.
The gift that keeps giving.
That's right. And this is how we support the artists who give us their talent and their amazing music and share of their heart and soul and spirit. So let's pay it forward.
Somebody said, gotta take Stacey on another date. Clowning in this chat room.
However you gotta do it, okay? Buy the music, folks. Purchase the
Yes,
music.
ma'am.
All right, folks. I have so gone over my time, and not that I don't care. I'm glad, Eriq. I'm glad you were able to hang out with us. Stacy, you're absolutely a lot of fun in the chat. Mom, thank you. Muriel, Ruby, Adrian, Bill, Westbound, Elle, Bernard, Sherwill. Whew! Everybody who's in the chat and watching the show, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone, please go to the Color of Jazz page. Go there now. You're allowed. Go there now. Like, love the page so I can keep bringing more artists on. Hey, everyone, I've had an amazing time with you. Thank you so, so much. We got to do it again. Eriq is going to come back on the show. Probably have to do 2 hours. An hour just ain't long enough. Right? It's all that wooing. All right, folks. I'm out. Peace,
Good night.
love.
Good night. Thank you,
See
Donna.
next
Thank
Sunday.
you so much. Thank you.
Eriq, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Mwah.
Mwah! Everybody, mwah. See you next Sunday. Bye.